Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Levi Clay here, and I am back again. Yes, it's becoming a catchphrase at this point. Back again to do some more transcribing. This one isn't a job for a client or anything. I just figured I did the, the Fender Heavy Metal Strat video, and that was reasonably popular. Some of you guys enjoyed that, so I figured, well, you know, I kind of like some of Greg's playing. So why don't I use that as an opportunity to talk about some Greg Howe? Yeah! Upside Downs Online, how's it going, man? So yeah, opportunity to talk a little bit about Greg Howe, but also, of course, NAMM. So if there's any gear from NAMM that any of you guys are interested in, and you want my opinion on it, not that my opinion matters, of course, but yeah, let's put it this way, or let me rephrase that. If there's anything from NAMM that you're interested in my opinion on, please do let me know, because I would love to check it out and let you know my thoughts on it. So yeah, let me just get this shared, because that's important, right? Gotta get these videos shared. I'll probably close that, can't I? Stay on top of all of these windows I have open. Probably get rid of that too. The only one that matters is you guys. If Facebook wants that to do what it's supposed to do when I go to share it. That is not how you are supposed to work, Facebook. Have I seen the Jared Dine signature? Oh, that's a great question, Anthony. I will give you my thoughts on that in 2 seconds. Let me just get this shared on Facebook. Facebook's been a little bit buggy with me tonight. Like the page itself isn't really wanting to open. So yeah. Just make sure it's not my computer. See if we've got any processors running that are eating up bandwidth or processing power. I mean, OBS eats quite a lot of power, but no, nothing jumping out as. Oh, that was a serious spike. That's a really good question. The Jared Dine signature. Let me bring up the info on that. Better fetch that fucking preview. There we go. Right, so the Jared Dines Ernie Ball Music Man. Yeah, really interesting question. Where are the stats for it, or the info on it? There we go. Info, of course, thin on the ground. Info thin on the ground, much like Jared's hairline. Thin on his head. I tease, I kid. Right, so obviously I've seen the pictures of it, and I saw Jared's Instagram post on it. I was really happy for him, like really happy for him. We're not getting any stats there. There's no info there. Let's have a look on his Instagram. Yeah, really happy when I saw the post go up. So let's read this. My new artist series signature, and he's put that in quotation marks. Guitar with Ernie Ball Music Man and Sterling by Music Man. Kill switch, hotter pickups, still passive. First ever Stingray with 24 frets. 3-way toggle, mahogany body, maple neck, stacked volume and tone knob for more picking hand room. Smaller saddles at the bridge so they don't poke your palm. All right. Gold hardware and locking tuners. Now here's the part I really like. $699. $699. You know what? round of applause to Jared on that one. I think that's really, really cool. I think that's really cool that Jared's not a dumb man. You know, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows who his demographic is, and he knows that, you know, releasing a signature guitar that's $4,000 would be ridiculous. No one would be able to afford it. So I really like the fact that he has delivered something that is going to be affordable to his fans. Hopefully affordable to his fans. Still, $700 is not cheap. It's not cheap, but it's definitely a mid-priced offering rather than something obscenely expensive. So yeah, I think that's great. Let me bring up some pictures of it, just so for those of you that haven't seen it. There's no way to zoom in on these. Apparently not. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this. So this is the Jared Dines signature Only Born Music Man. It's funny because a couple of years ago, the joke that me and I always have to go say my friends that will remain nameless, because these are all like high profile guys that work in the industry, but they're very bitchy behind closed doors, or catty at least. And there was certainly a long running joke for a good couple of years of this is it. This year at NAMM, it's the year of the YouTube guitarist. This is the year where all the YouTube guitarists get signature guitars. This is the year where most of the signature guitars are from people that don't have any music. And I'm allowed to say that because, of course, I have music. Not that I'm making that comment about Jared. It's nice to see this sort of calm down. And I was surprised that Jared wasn't one of the first guys with that. Anyway, so there's the Stingray, 24 frets, and if we go through these pictures. Yeah. Oh, it's literally just the two pictures, isn't it? But pre-order's available in April, so we'll be able to get more info on that as and when it happens. But as I say, I think that $699 is a great price point, and I think anyone that is in that position where they can give their fans something that the fans are going to enjoy, yeah, man, hats off to them. Much respect, mucho respect to Jared for that one. Anyway, let me do my usual introduction. Now we've got a few people online. Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, back again to do one of my live streams. I'm really Transcribing some Greg Howe, but also talking about NAMM. So if you have any questions, you want my opinion on anything, you know you're always going to get an honest opinion with Levi. If you want my opinion on any gear, any guitars, any amps, any pedals, hell, I'll even give you my thoughts on bass. It's usually going to be, I don't care. Then please do let me know. That's what I am here to do today. I'm also going to be transcribing the Greg Howe thing. You've not heard what I'm transcribing, but that should be fun. I want to say a big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. There should be a link in the description, though saying that there probably isn't because YouTube is strange. But thank you very much to my supporters. You bring live streams like this to people. And yeah, you guys get to download the tabs that I get done today. So you get something out of it. You guys rock. Thank you very much. You can also head on over to Amazon, have a search for Levi Clay, check out one of my books. Lots and lots of material for you to check out. In fact, I do have a new book out. If I do this. Probably make that bigger, can't I? Let's make that bigger. Oh, there we go. 100 slide licks for blues guitar, available on Amazon now. And a little birdie tells me it's an Amazon bestseller, so hopefully you can go and check that out and enjoy it. Anyway, let's check out some of these comments. Let's see who's online. Let's have some fun. Oliver Rudden is online. Hello, man. How's it going? Eric, hello. Chedhead, hello. Good evening. John Fisher, I'm doing well, John. I am doing well. I didn't plan to be streaming tonight. I just I was sat in my house and I was going to come out to my studio to do some work anyway. And then I thought, well, you know what? Engage with the guys. I love engaging with you guys. I always have fun doing these. And I don't intend to be online for hours and hours and hours. Just a quick little hour, do a little bit of transcribing, catch up with you guys, see what's been going on. Jason Chadwick is online. Jason Chadwick, the man, the mystery. The man that used to have very long hair. I've just learned this. Fantastic guitars at Chapman. Couldn't keep Jared satisfied. Who would have thought it, eh? Yeah. Lots of people commenting on the Jared Dines videos and things, saying that we're surprised he didn't have some sort of 18-string guitar made for him or something silly like that. But ultimately, you know, things like that. Jared is an entertainer. He's a comedian, right? A good guy as well, like a genuinely good guy. I like a lot of the stuff that he's been doing for the community just recently. His heart's in the right place. I like the guy. I do like the guy. So, of course, I'm sure he has the clout to say, I want you to make something ridiculous like a 24-string guitar for me, and that'll be my signature model. But no one's going to buy that. It's of no use to anyone other than him for a comedy video. So this guitar is pretty cool because this is something that he'll use. This is something that his fans will be able to use. And the thing I think I like the most about it is it's not like it's. I'm not going to necessarily say it's eye-catching, right? But it's different. It's different. Certainly not unique, but it's not what you would automatically expect someone to go for as a signature guitar. So I think that's kind of cool. So yeah, there we go. I thought the description said free ham. Yeah, I'd like some free ham. That would be good. Mine 7 Sharp 5. How's it going, man? Nathan Hall. Hello. Say hello to Nathan Hall, everybody. Thank you very much for checking my stuff out, Nathan. I appreciate it. And yeah, Oliver, you're absolutely right. $6.99. It's a great price. Waleed is online. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you here. Greg Howe is so severely underrated in today's current setting. He is such a killer player, and in one of my in one of my opinion, one of the unsung heroes of that whole jazz shred fusion thing. Yeah, so 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Greg was really, really popping on the online guitar scene because he released that Sunny video, which was great, and it's like a legendary video. I was going to transcribe that, but Adrian Clark transcribed that 10 years ago, so why bother. He definitely was a big influence on that early online fusion resurgence thing, but he has not faded away. But he's certainly, the thing with Greg is he doesn't put out a lot of material online. He's not a big internet guy. He does some Instagram videos here and there, but enough. He's not putting out tons and tons of pro shot content because Greg's been on the scene since what, 88 is his first album, maybe 87. Let's have a look. '88, yeah. Oh, it's the year I was born that came out. When did it come out in '88? Is there a release time for it? No. So 88. Yeah, no date on that. That's a shame. So his first album came out in '88. It's been on the scene for over 30 years, right? I don't think he should be expected to be doing the same sort of thing same with guys like Frank Gambale, right? Frank doesn't need to play the Instagram game. Greg Howe has toured with Michael Jackson. He doesn't need to play that game. So while I would love more videos from Greg and more pro shot videos from Greg, so I could make a song and a dance about him more often, it's totally expected, I would say. Joshua Thomas enjoyed the video of the nostalgia heavy metal Strat. Yeah, that's exactly why I've decided to talk a little bit more about Greg Howe, man. Love to try the Jared Dines sig. This is cool, man. It's really cool to see that lots of people are interested in that Jared Dines signature. Have I seen the video of the guys from Polyphia playing with Vi and Satch at NAMM? They really did not perform well, coming from a fan. Oliver, I haven't seen it. Honestly, I can probably imagine what it would be like. Is it Scott? Scott LePage is the other guitar player in Polyphia? Or... Yeah, Scott LePage. I don't know much about his playing style, but obviously I know a fair amount about Tim Henson's playing style, and I don't think of Tim as being an improviser. I think he's a very interesting composer. But whether or not he can cut it in a jam setting like that, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Just like the people that can cut it in the improvised jamming setting probably can't touch Tim when it comes to compositional stuff. So it doesn't surprise me at all. It's like when you see Tosin Abasi get up and jam on these things. Like he doesn't fit in. It's not his thing. So but yeah, that's cool. Not synths then. No, probably not, Ched. Thoughts on the new Fortin lunchbox? So I've had a limited experience of Fortin playing their stuff. Let's see what get the specs on the lunchbox. So this will be the sigil. Yeah, the sigil. The thing with lunchbox amps is I don't really think they're for me. I don't think they're for me. I have too many options, gear-wise. I've got tons of gear options. I've got a beautiful big 120 watt rev over there. I've got a Fender over there. I've got a Kemper here if I need something that isn't one of those things. And I was this close to ordering a lunchbox amp because, Rev, I have a good relationship with Rev and they're happy to hook me up. But ultimately, I decided I don't need a lunchbox amp. I just don't need a lunchbox amp. If I'm going to spend some money on another amp, I'll get another big amp. I'll get another classic amp that I can play loud, right? So, yeah, I think I'm not going to say that they're late to the party with their lunchbox amp. I think that Rev are knocking it out of the fucking park with their lunchbox amps, and I know that when I say that, you have to take a little bit of bias with that because I do know the guys over at Rev and I have a great relationship with those guys over there. But when you look at their, those guys were the first company to put a 2 notes impulse load box and recording output, if you like, on a lunchbox amp, and that's super cool. The D20 was really cool, and the new G20, I'm dying to try one of those out, right? So definitely, I'm definitely lean more towards the Rev lunchbox amps over the Fortin amps, but ultimately I don't lean towards either because I don't really want a lunchbox amp. Would I like to own a new Fortin amp? Yeah. Probably not a lunchbox amp though. So. Yeah, I don't think that's really for me. Though of course, when it comes to pedals, Fortin stuff, I like that. Is the Slash release too expensive? So I've not seen the prices on the Slash releases, but without looking, yes, of course, because when Slash puts his name on something, he immediately doubles the RRP of the product, and it's just totally not worth it. Will me and Mike have a baby, adopt a baby? I don't know how my wife or his fiance would feel about that. That could make for an interesting sitcom, though. I kind of like that. We disagree on a lot of parenting ideas. Looking forward to the Epiphone 59. So let's take a look at this. NAMM 2020 59. I'm pretty sure that I did check this out. Yeah, the Epiphone inspired by Gibson stuff. So my only thoughts with this, and I mentioned this on the podcast, the new Epiphone headstock concept, I like them. If they do a 57 gold top, now they may have actually announced that. I've not been through the entire lineup yet. I'll be talking about their lineup in more detail on the podcast, obviously. But if they decide to offer a 57 gold top, an Epiphone 57 gold top with that newer headstock, well, I actually said it on the podcast. I will buy one. I will give you my money. I will be happy to do that. But it needs to look as authentic as possible. So yeah, I do like what Epiphone are doing though, and I like that Gibson are trying very hard. So I'll give them that. Wolverine, how's it going in Atlanta? HK. Thank you very much. Eric Hampton. Yep. We're getting old, buddy. Diego guitarist. Even morning, yes. Starter. You are at the very start of the stream. Well, you're about a third of the way through the stream now. Minus 7 Sharp 5. Thinking about guitar players I knew have such technical ability, but no one can play some of their stuff. Owen Gambale and Sean Lane come to mind. Well, there's lots of guys. Brian Baker, he has a very unique approach to playing guitar. Wayne Krantz, no one sounds like Wayne Krantz, and no one can sound like Wayne Krantz. Yeah. And when we say Gambale and Sean Lane, but I mean Marshall Harrison does a pretty good job of it. Yeah, you get the idea. Do I like the Steve Ipia look? No, not at all, Ali. Not even a little bit. It looks cheap to me. I'm not a fan. Buy around 5 Jared Dine signatures for the price of one Ibanez Pia. Exactly, yeah. The Pia Junior, yeah, that will come. Quite disappointing. 95% of new production import guitars do not have stainless steel frets. Maybe next year. Yeah. The Cannon Brigade from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have been to Albuquerque. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Albuquerque. So, yes. Hello, Cannon Brigade. Thank you for tuning in. Dro Hydro. Hear you on the Lunchbox amps. Tinnitus is loudest amp I got right now. Yeah, me too, man. I hear that screaming sound in my ears. ESP that wasn't LTD. Haven't seen any E2s. Well, I thought that, Anthony, when I was looking through I did a video on the ESP stuff, and almost everything is LTD related. So, yeah. That's a great point from Oliver there. The issue with cheaper guitars having stainless steel frets is when they come out as not perfect, it is a pain in the ass to fix them. 66 Bobby Q. That sounds like a request. Greg Koch is difficult to imitate, yes. Right, okay, I've caught up with comments, so why don't I load up this Greg Howe thing and we'll take a look at it and we'll talk about his playing style. And very much like with Frank Gambale, like Greg is someone that I have been very exposed to in my playing life. I've transcribed a lot of Greg Howe for people. He proved very popular in my early years working as a transcriber. And I like some of his stuff, but let me put it this way. I've never learned any of his stuff. Little bits and pieces. Direct Injection off of the Introspection album. I've learned that. Or certainly a lot of that. But yeah, I honestly can't sit and tell you any Greg Howe songs that I've really tried learning. So he's somebody, like I say, that I've listened to a lot, but probably isn't a massive influence on me. And therefore his playing approach, I mean, I admire his playing approach because it's actually very non-standard. It's not like the other guys that are playing the rock and the fusion thing, the jazz rock fusion thing. So he does definitely have a voice. Let's check it out. So it sounds like this. So I'm going to zoom in on this because there's no reason for it to be as small as that when we can have the guitar really in the shot. So this is Greg demoing the Soul 5. This is the Soul 5 pedal by, what's the name of the company? That's
Greg Howe here, and just thought I'd give you a quick personal review of this pretty cool new pedal I recently came across. It's called the Soul 5 Overdrives by a company called X Gear.
Soul 5 Overdrive by X Gear. The comment that I would make before I even begin transcribing this, and this may be one of the things that has always bugged me about Greg's playing, but when it comes to his tone, I think that he misses the mark very heavily, especially for me. Definitely misses the mark for me. In this particular instance, when I listen to this, he has such a great, like, crunchy rhythm guitar tone. Such a great crunchy rhythm guitar tone. For those unfamiliar, he has a great band, or he had a great band called Marigold. They put out an album called Marigold, Maragold. Songs like Evergreen is Gold, Oracle. There's tons of really good songs on that album, actually. I really like it. Megan Krause was the singer on it. I'm sure it was Megan Krause, yeah. That's well worth checking out. Very, very well worth checking out. I really like that because when you listen to Greg's playing in there, he has that classic Greg Howe crunchy overdrive approach and just slays it. It's 1 a.m. here, upside down. He just slays it. But when it comes to lead tones, Yeah, so Eric says it's almost too muffled. It's like he just rolls off all of the high end on his tone, and it just doesn't cut through. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't do it for me. And honestly, so I've met Greg. He did a clinic at the Guitar Institute in London, and I got to hang out with him. I was his personal escort, actually. I looked after him when he was there, and spent some time talking to him, and asked at the time he was using the Axe Effects, and I asked a lot about his tone, and he was relatively new to the Axe Effects, if I recall, and the guys from Fractal had helped him set up his tones and things on it. And listening to him live that night, the tone was just dreadful, but it wasn't because the sound he was using; it's because of the way he had EQ'd it, and to me it sounded like somebody whose ears have just been battered from playing too loud all the time. And the same for me, my tinnitus is really bad, so I can't actually be trusted when it comes to things like EQing things anymore. So it sounds, very much sounds like, or at least it very much sounded to me, like it was somebody that didn't have an accurate reflection of the sound that was really everyone else was hearing in the room. He'd EQ'd it so it sounded right to him, but it didn't sound right to everyone else. And this kind of feels the same. But very like the opposite. Actually, back then there was almost too much top end, whereas with this it's super, super dark, so not crazy on that. Sounds like he's turned the treble up. This is Oliver Rodden. Turned the treble up on the amp and then rolled the tone on the guitar all the way back. It's a very strange tone. Anthony Edgar, guitar for technical playing. Patricio, yeah, I remember, man. Mentioned the Prestige. Also looking at the E2s. It's a style thing, isn't it? The Ibanez neck is what I would recommend, Anthony, is playing an Ibanez Wizard profile neck and feeling what that feels like. I personally don't like the way they feel, but you may enjoy them. So, yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at what he's actually playing. So, let's subdivide this by 4 beats. So like a B Dorian vamp. I assume he goes up to 15 there. We'll see. Oh no. So he may be playing this all down here. It's like that classic Dorian. It'll be separate these so we get 2 lines on each, two measures on each line. Oh yeah, man, Greg Howe plays circle around tons of guys. Anthony Egger's a telly player now, mostly playing blues, looking into the more technical side. That's why I know why they're so little. Thank you, not a problem. Well, you know, you've seen, or hopefully you've seen a lot of my videos. I'm a Telecaster player too, man. Telly is me, right? Yeah, so the comment here about we usually lose presents first, which is absolutely true. And that, I think, is what I really experienced in the early stages when I heard Greg. The first times I heard Greg live. I think he'd boosted his trebles to try and sort of compensate for that. I think, and that was like 10 years ago, I would assume that over time, you'd very quickly realise, oh, I'm adding too much treble to my tone. So to sort of compensate for that, you learn to roll back on that treble. And maybe he's trying to compensate for it. It's total speculation. Maybe he's trying to compensate for it and just not getting quite where he's wanting out of it, or at least what we're wanting. Eric Hampton, yes, this is Guitar Pro 7. It is Guitar Pro 7. Transcribe is the software in the top left. Extraction is a sick album. It's got some cool moments on it, yeah. He does have some... the thing, Archie, is... Yeah, Greg has some meandering material, I would say. But I would honestly recommend giving the Marigold album a check. I think you'd enjoy that. If you like songs. Where's he go to? Is that what he plays there? Here's what he plays, yeah? I'm quantizing that just because it'll look better on the page. That's oh. Is Justice accusing me of something there? I don't really understand. People of all part of the world. No. I love my American friends. I love America. I've not been in a while, and it makes me sad. Oliver says that he's never really watched any instructional material from Greg. Does he go into the theory behind his playing, or is it all done by ear? Greg knows his theory. Yeah, Greg knows his theory. There's not all that much instructional material of his out there. There's the old REH video. I said hot licks in the heavy metal strat video I did, but it's an REH video. That's more about shred technique. But Greg has been teaching people online and privately as well for a very, very long time. So Magnus asks, what do I think of Reverend guitars? So I have played a Reverend. I'm sure. Is it Reverend I'm thinking of? Yeah. So I've played a Reverend. My friend Barry owns a... What model would it be? What model is it? They have a lot of models. I'm honestly not sure what models Barry's is. It might be the Descent. May well be the Descent. There's that type of shape. They were cool. The Barry's one was kind of cool. It was different. Different is what I would say. Different. Not. I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. I'm not a fussy player. Like, I wish I could. Let's bring this up. I wish I could put this guitar through the screen so you guys could play it. It is a dirty, dirty little bitch of a guitar. It really is. And literally as well, it's filthy. This guitar is not a fun guitar to play. You don't play this guitar and go, oh, this is so easy to play. This guitar is... this guitar's a shitter. I've got the action super high on it. The strings are always really dirty. This guitar is hard work to play. And I switched with I had a student in the studio today, and we traded guitars at one point because I was tuning his guitar up and just giving his guitar a noodle. And he's also playing a butterscotch telly, but his one is very modern in feel. It's been set up to be like a very easy to play guitar, and this is just the total opposite of that. So it's not that I like guitars to have a certain feel to them. I can pick up other guitars of mine that don't play like this, but I like this guitar because I really have to fucking work to play it. And it's a telly, so you can beat it about and it doesn't really matter. You don't worry about it getting bumped and bruised. So the reason I bring that up is, the Reverend was kind of cool. I like the fact that it was different rather than just being, another Ibanez or whatever. So yeah, I've got time for Reverend. Tips on someone starting a guitar or music channel in 2020 who is also not in their early 20s. Regular content, reliable content. It's right-handed. Oh no, Ched, you're not a dirty left-handed player, are you? Yeah, sorry. Regular content, Eric, and have a unique spin. Recently, obviously, my channel's got a lot of attention because I've done some stupid fucking cancerous drama videos, and people love to drop a comment on a video saying, you know, you YouTubers are all the same. You'll do it. Like, why don't you go out and make some actual fucking content? Motherfucker, I make more unique content than any of these clowns. There's no one doing what I'm doing right now. No one on YouTube is live transcribing. Not a single fucking person. Certainly not transcribing stuff, the kind of stuff that I'm transcribing. Because this is hard stuff. This is pressure. If you can really look like an asshole trying to do this stuff when you really don't know what you're doing, right? But I do a good job of it. And, of course, I want to teach people how to transcribe. That's really the focus. And instill the value of transcribing. So, yeah, having something that you do that is unique is important. And have some personality. Have a character, right? I've got a character. I was going to say that when I turn the camera off, the person that you see on the camera isn't really the person who I am. They're very similar, but, you know, I amp things up, right? I amplify who I am and make myself a bit of a caricature when I'm on YouTube, because ultimately I consider myself an entertainer and an educator. All I want to do is make you guys laugh, really. So, not a problem, Cameron. I'm sure I responded to your email, your last email. Let me double check that. You're giving me the fear now, brother. Yeah, oh shit, I've got that brown email that I need to deal with. Got some monument stuff that needs doing. It is my superpower. It's the most pathetic superpower. Yeah, that is true, Robert. Having Rick Beato be into my content helps. Have I heard of Cage? There's a subject for you. Just do a video on that, right? Just do a video called Have You Heard of Cage? Eric makes the best point of all, right? The stuff that they complain about is the stuff they watch. Man, fortunately, my most watched video on YouTube that's got a couple of 100,000 views isn't a drama video or a rage video, if you like. But it half is. It's an educational video, but it's... but I rant in it. But you look at the rest, like, people fucking watch these videos. Don't watch these cancerous videos. Watch these videos. Watch videos where you'll fucking learn something. You know, to be a good transcriber, you have to hear what he played here. When I can hear that, I can write that, right? D minor. So there's a little thing that I've done here that I kind of want to tweak now. I'll do it in a second. Yeah, well, how have I not put that shuffle? And then with that in place, we can keep these as being like that, and then that, and that. I mean, I've got some good tits, Eric. Awesome, Christian. I'm glad I'm genuinely very glad you've got something out of some of these videos. All I've ever wanted to do is help people become better at music. And I think a big part of that is the community that we have, the community that we have together, the engaging with you guys here, but, comment sections on videos, but also just Facebook groups. I grew up in Facebook groups on the internet scene, and helping people is important because there were a lot of people that helped me when I was a younger player, and I absolutely needed help learning to do those types of things, right? When I was younger, I needed advice, I needed guidance, and a lot of people donated a lot of time to help me out. So yes, it's a great thing to do to give that back. If you foster the community and help the community grow and become better, we have a wonderful thing. We have a wonderful thing that we have here. So anytime that you really analyze one of my rage videos or a fucking drama video, the only reason that they've ever been there, the Stevie T, the Rob Chapman or whatever, is because I'm just trying to make the community a little bit of a fucking better place. It's genuinely not about views. I wish. It's just one of those things. Like, if you make a video like that, if you've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then you're just making it to be relevant, and you're just following trends, and you're just doing it for the clicks, right? And if you're making videos like that and you don't have many subscribers, then apparently you're just trying to capitalize on other people's success. Like, what if it's neither of those? What if you're making it because of firmly held beliefs? Justice. I have been notating songs. I've been a transcriber for... Christ, I'm 32 now. I've been transcribing since I was about 16, 17. I've been transcribing professionally for almost 10 years now. Now you've got that Greg Howe vibrato. What I tend to do for the Greg Howe vibrato in my transcriptions is I'll use the whammy bar vibrato. And for the first time, I'll put like slide vib above it just so people know. Now the Guitar Pro won't play back the way you want it to, but yeah. Eric, would I like to do YouTube full time? I take it from the convo, no. I mean, YouTube is... it's not full time, but wrong one. I've got a lot of people that support my work, man, and it brings in enough to pay my mortgage and bills every month. So you could say that this is what I do full time, and of course, I use my platform on YouTube to help people, but of course I promote my books, I promote my work. I like to provide free content for people, of course, but if people have, money to financially support me, that's wonderful. In that respect, I guess I'm kind of a fucking YouTuber now, because what I do for a living is I transcribe music, and I get most of my business from what people see of me doing on YouTube. I write books. Again, I sell a lot of books every year, and a large portion of that is my promotion that I'm doing on YouTube. And I have like online courses with Lick Library and instructional DVDs and things like that. It's kind of what I do. I would like it if I could do more. I wish there was more time in the day to do it all, right? I'm going to write that as I will write it as syncopated 16th notes. I've got this beautiful studio that I work out of now, and again, like, my patrons paid for that. Oliver, me doing rock and metal, I've not played rock and metal in a long time. Though, of course, my band Hellcat Molly was rock and metal. Signature guitar soon, mayonnaise Telecaster with True Temperament. No, I certainly wouldn't go for a True Temperament. Is he playing down there? He does play that there. So that's that slide vibrato. Thank you very much for tuning in, Eric. Levi Howe, how's it going? You've combined my first name with the surname of the person I am transcribing, which is fun, right? Missed a lot of comments. Mine 7 Sharp 5 is starting music school next year. Did music school make you improve fast, Levi? Oh, this is such a great question. Such a great question. No. No, it didn't. It did in some respects, but not in others. It didn't make me a better player. What music school did is it taught me a lot about the music business. Music school taught me a lot about how to teach. I went to music school and I spent a lot of time really paying attention to how teachers were teaching. I found that very, very interesting. And music school allowed me to not have to worry about paying rent for 3 years. That was the most valuable thing that music school gave me, because my student loans covered my accommodation. It made sure that I was okay. And that meant that I could devote more time to getting good at the things I wanted to get good at. And that was when I really started transcribing. That was when I started getting paid to transcribe. So music school was wonderful for me because it allowed me to network, learn about the business, and devote the time that I needed to learn the things that I needed to do. I didn't think, and I still don't think, that when you go to music school and they're like, right, you've got to play these scales up and down, and you've got to be able to play them in fourths and sixths and in many positions. Like, to me, that's just academic stuff. That's just ticking boxes. Can the person do this? Yes, let's give them their qualification. That doesn't make you a musician. It doesn't make you a better player. It makes you an encyclopedia of knowledge. But, there's more to being good than that, right? So yeah, I'd go back to music school and I'd absolutely do it all again, yeah. But I'd spend even less time on the things that they wanted me to spend it on, and even more time using that time to my advantage. custom Evertune that has a B bender. Now that sounds great. True Temperament, Nathan. True Temperament frets definitely aren't a gimmick. I think I like True Temperament a lot. True Temperament does improve the overall experience of tuning accuracy on the guitar. It does, it absolutely does. But if you play in tunings other than standard tuning, it's less than good. In fact, it makes things worse for you. Obviously, I play a lot of slide, so I like to play in open tunings as well. So that makes things tricky. Same problem with the Evertune. It's difficult to retune your guitar when you use the Evertune. The only bugbear I have with the True Temperament system is I feel it's too expensive. I feel it's just too expensive for what it is. It improves your overall guitar by maybe 3 to 5%, but it adds an extra $1,000, and I just don't know. Just don't know. Do not know. Do not know that I can justify that. I should really finish the sentence, shouldn't I? Right. Right, I'm going to hold there. I'm going to mark out the tempo, and we're going to listen along with Greg and see how we're sounding. So markers, compute tempo. We are at exactly 100 BPM. Exactly 100 BPM. Fine. We like that. Let's make our guitar sound a little bit more like Greg's. So let's take all of the treble out of it. We'll have none of that tone. We will have none of that high end. Okay, we need a lot more overdrive than that though. Let's change the amp. Guitar amp, modern, lead, ramp up the gain. I mean, that's still probably a better tone. Right, so if I put this on, we go back to the start, we have a listen to us next to Greg. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'd say we were spot on there. Evertunes are too expensive as well, no matter how much I love them. Well, that's the mad thing. Evertunes are expensive, but they're not as expensive as True Temperament frets. And I think that what you gain from the Evertune is much more noticeable for the player, at least. Or you'll gain more benefit out of the Evertune than I think you will the True Temperament frets. Yeah, guitar in the garage. Who's the guitar player that I have learnt the most from? Wow. The guitar player that I have learnt the most from. John, that would depend on if you're talking about like actual playing vocabulary, like things that I've developed my playing from. And I would have to say probably Scotty Anderson, because I've transcribed so much of Scotty Anderson's stuff and I learnt so many things from doing that, and it shaped a lot of my vocabulary so significantly. So yeah, probably Scotty Anderson. Similar impact probably from guys like Jimmy Herring and Derek Trucks. They were definitely influential on my ears, and same with Joe Pass. But in terms of the guitar player that I learnt the most from, as in who fundamentally changed my perspective on the instrument changed the way I approached playing, changed my entire musical direction, was Wayne Krantz. When I got to hang out with Wayne Krantz and talk to him about music for a while, he gave me some pointers and some advice and was talking a lot about intervals. And it didn't sink in right away. It took a few years for it to really sink into me. But when it sunk in, it was like, turning on the world's brightest light in a dark room. Suddenly everything was clear. Suddenly I could see everything. Everything made sense. The close second would be Carver Hayen. Again, I had some one-on-one time with Carver Hayen, and that was very, very influential. The things that he said to me were really changed a lot of my perspectives on things and how I saw intervals on the instrument. So yeah, there you go. That's what I'd answer that with. Mike Stern as well. A lot from Mike Stern. Again, had some one-on-one time with Mike Stern, and I learned a lot from that time. So. Only going to music school for 1 year just to network, and out of curiosity, it's literally impossible in my city to get into jazz groups without conservatory contacts. That's a shame, man. Start your own jazz groups. I assume there's no more questions about NAMM. Just checking my Facebook comments to see if anything's coming on there. Jeff Campbell. How's it going, Jeff? John Brown stuff to deal with. Guitar Breakdown. There's a YouTube channel. Go and check their work out. The guys over at Guitar Breakdown have done some fabulous, fabulous courses that are well worth checking out. Well worth checking out. Yeah, great videos. So thank you very much for the comments on the studio. It has been a while, and I hope you guys are doing well too. Well, it doesn't take a lot to know what Wayne Krantz taught me. It's awareness of intervals, focus on intervals rather than scales. Mike Stern at a jazz festival, dude seemed brain dead, and then went out and killed it so hard. That's really funny. I've not checked out Frank's new signature Kiesel. No, I haven't. Oh, Michael Caswell, yeah. Michael was... I knew Mike reasonably well because obviously we worked together at Lick Library, and I was always in whenever he was filming. Yeah, Michael was a character. He really was a character. Anytime I see his name, it just takes me back to that shocking night when I'd found out that he'd passed away. That was the first time in my life I'd ever had somebody that I knew well professionally just pass away suddenly like that, and that really hit me and everyone around us at Lick Library really, really, really hard. It was such a shame because he was a great player. He was a really good player. First and last concert. My first concert. That's a cool question. My first concert was In Me, and they were supporting. No, In Me were headlining. Sorry, tell a lie. In Me were headlining, and the support band was Biffy Clyro. So yeah, that will give you an idea of how long ago that was. And the last concert that I went to was... Jesus. Oh, Devon Townsend. Devon Townsend was the last one I went to. Greg Cox, a great player. You assume that I'm the one doing the transcribing. What do I think of Riff Hard? I am the one doing all the transcriptions for Riff Hard. Yeah, John's stuff is really cool on Riff Hard. George Benson's a great player. Right. Let me just finish this Shredlick, and then I'm going to log off and start doing this stuff for John Brown. No, this tone sounds ridiculous. I'm actually going to put that as a 7. Where's he play that? Does he play that there? He won't play there. He does. Bruce, this transcription will only be available on my Patreon page. I'm also probably not going to get the whole thing done. That's a 6. Dagger to dagger da. That's a 5. Did you play that there? Did you play that there? Huh. Ba-da-boo-ba-ba. Hits that 15th verse. I'm going to put this as 7. This is the side of Greg's playing that doesn't do much for me. Measure per line. Why the fuck is he playing that? It goes there, so it'll be let's just go with that, because I mean it's really like a scuffed note. This is on the beat though, so I'm gonna make that 6. And this is the nasty world of quantizing. To make things look good on the page, something that you can learn from. Will Guitar Pro allow me to do that? It will allow me to do that. Where's he fuck? Does he play that? Oh, it's 12. John, yeah, oh, absolutely, man. Expect Josh Smith. Always expect Josh Smith. Josh Smith is always happening. Saw Greg in London recently. Amazing. More importantly, do I ever sleep? It is 2 a.m. where I am, yeah. I've got a lot of work to do though, Luke. I want to do this stream for you, and I've got some stuff to John Brown to do after this. I've got to sort out the new Monuments track, and there's some videos that are going with it, so I need to get those all sorted. And they need those by tomorrow, so... yeah, any chance of Josh Smith? Yeah, I just did that. So ask again, any good software or books practicing transcribing, especially the rhythmic part? I mean, I've answered that many times. I've absolutely answered that many times. Yeah, Melodic Rhythms for Guitar, the William Leavitt book, and Gary Hess's The Encyclopedia of Reading Rhythms. Definitely those two. If you can't read rhythms, then you can't transcribe them. Impossible. Hugh Coldwell, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Bruce, you can absolutely request things, yeah. It doesn't mean you'll always get them. But yeah. So if I don't play rock and metal, what do I play these days? Joe Pinavere is online. Man, I was going to do a live transcription doing one of your videos. I would probably do that next, assuming you're cool with that. I'll probably do that next time you send me some transcriptions over. Your stuff doesn't take too long. I've started to the real fun thing about transcribing, right, is you start to learn patterns that people play. And Joe has he has some legato patterns that he plays a lot. And you sort of learn, you come to expect them. So when I'm transcribing his stuff, and they're unique to him. Well, maybe not unique to him, but they're certainly trademarks of his playing, if you like. It's like Greg, this little motion that he does here, and he does it again here. This is like a Greg Howe trademark. He does that all the time in his legato runs. I will answer you in a second, Sunny Bird. I'm just as Joe is online. Let's give him, and because to be honest, I enjoy doing this. Let's see how it sounds. Let's see if how on the money we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. say we're pretty spot on there again. Right, Sunnybird. If I don't play rock and metal these days, I'm sorry. You must be new here. Oh, whoops. You must be new here. I have been working doing blues and jazz and country music for the last 5 years or so. I've been writing columns for Premier Guitar Magazine. I've been their blues columnist for many years now. I have been told by Premier Guitar, by Jason at Premier Guitar, that I got that job because they wanted Scott Henderson to write a blues column for them, and Scott wasn't willing to do it, so Jason went to me because he knew I'd be able to do what they wanted Scott to do. And I've been doing their columns for 6 or 7 years, both blues and country. And then, of course, I've been writing books on country guitar. I've been writing books on blues guitar and slide guitar, more specifically, because I play a lot of slide guitar. I do educational content on jazz and blues fusion. Right, I have Lick Library DVDs on harmony and jazz and blues fusion. So I do a lot of stuff, man. I do a lot of stuff. And the rock and metal thing, it's not that I don't love that stuff anymore. It's just, it doesn't pay the bills. I'm not a world-class rock player. I'm not a world-class shred player. I'm not a world-class metal player. Because to be those things, it's a very, very, very competitive, and also you need to be world class in that genre. You have to. People are constantly trying to take that spot, right? Whereas if you put your time and effort into blues, country, jazz, slide guitar, these are considerably less populated markets, and fortunately they're genres that I'm really passionate about as well, so that helps. Anyway, Michael MC asks, does Greg use unusual tunings for Cry by Marigold? Let me have a look at my transcription of Cry by Marigold. Have I done Cry? I was transcribing the Marigold album for Greg back in 2014, apparently 6 years ago. Evidently I didn't do Evergreen is Golder. Evidently I didn't do Cry. I did Evergreen is Golder, Magic Paint, Oracle, Paradigm Tsunami, Saturday Sun, and Story's Ending. That's really annoying. Story's Ending. Evidently we didn't get far into that one. Saturday Sun, both guitar parts. This kind of cool chorus type thing. Let me. So we did that. We did Paradigm Tsunami, which I love this track. That's drop D. I did the solo on this. No, we didn't get that finished. Oracle. Apparently I did bass and guitar. Oh, this is the solo, yeah. So we did that, and then Magic Paint I don't really care about. Evergreen is Golder, I love this tune. So apparently, I was sure I did a lot more of that project than evidently I have. Ultimately, we couldn't agree on a deal, so we didn't go ahead with it. It's just occurred to me you didn't get to see any of that. Sorry. My bad. Anyway, so that is my stream. I'm going to bring it to an end there. But thank you very much for tuning in, guys. It really does mean a lot to me. As always, I want to say a huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. If you would like to check me out on Patreon, I'm sure Upside Down is probably going to post a link to it. It should be in the description, but I don't know. These live streams, I sometimes forget that you have to write a separate description for them. I just assume that it's going to be carried across from all of my videos, and it's not. So yeah. But if you would like to support me on Patreon, you can do so for as little as $1. And all of your support is appreciated. It means I do more streams like this. You can also head on over to Amazon, have a look for Levi Clay, and you will see one of my books. I've got lots of books. Delta Blues slide guitar soloing techniques, country guitar for beginners, 100 country licks for guitar, country guitar soloing techniques, the country guitar fingerstyle method, country guitar method compilation, and my latest book, 100 slide licks for blues guitar, which is available on Amazon now. And I hear it's an Amazon bestseller, so you should check it out. Maybe you will enjoy it. While I have you, I should also say a huge thank you to my friends over at VPix. I love those guys very much. Those guys rock. And yeah, I'm looking around for my medium pointed. I always try and do this as fast as possible in the stream. Almost there. There you go. It's just about, there you go. VPix medium pointed. I've used those for almost 10 years now, and I love those picks. So very, very big thank you to my friends over at VPix. Big thanks to my friends over at Rev Amplification. Big thanks to my friends over at Ormsby Guitars that sponsor the Guitar Souls podcast. Big thanks to my friends over at Mayonnaise Guitars. I mean, if I move out of the way, you'll see there's a Mayonnaise guitar just sat on the floor because I haven't got my hangers up yet. But they will be going up this week. My hangers are going up this week. That's the big development. Look, where are they? Shit, where's it gone? There. I've mentioned these on damn it. I've mentioned these on streams before. Here we go. So these are the toggle fixings that I have to mount the guitars on the walls. But the shafts for these aren't long enough to go through the guitar hanger, the Hercules hanger, plus all of the layers of drywall that I have for soundproofing. So I've had to custom order a bunch of replacement threads, replacement screws. So now here's the old one and here's the new ones. These will get through the walls. These will go through the guitar hangers and the wall. So these are going to be magic. Hopefully they're going to be magic. So I just had to order lots of separate parts to do that. But they're all here now. So I'm going to be putting time and effort into... I'm going to be doing... putting my guitars up this weekend, hopefully. So I'm really excited to, go back to having guitars all over the walls. Because I'm a guitar player and I want people to be able to see all of my guitars, right? So yeah, there you go. These will be ready. Yes! And I'm excited. Anyway, much love. Thank you very, very much for your love and support. Thank you very much, Upside Down. Your generosity is appreciated but not necessary. You've supported me on Patreon for a while, and I appreciate that. So, anyway, much love, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you for another stream soon. Laters.